The universe is an endless mystery. For centuries, mankind has sought to unravel its secrets, trying to understand the essence of reality, the soul in themselves. But the more we learn, the stronger the suspicion becomes that we are just participants in a great illusion, the boundaries of which cannot be felt and for which there is no explanation yet. On the Aniwantam, is there a soul? What is consciousness? Are our perceptions of the world real? Or can we be part of a complex simulation created by someone stronger than ourselves? Today, we will plunge into the deepest mysteries of the universe where science, philosophy, and mysticism intersect. This journey will change your perception of reality. Mystical secrets of the universe, consciousness, soul, reality. Are you ready to go to the place where the answers are hidden? Then let's start. Chapter 1. The Mystery of Consciousness. What is consciousness? This is a fundamental question that no one, neither scientists nor philosophers, has been able to give a definitive answer to. Those who study the brain recognize its complexity, but even the most modern technology does not explain what makes us ourselves. Why do we feel and think? Where does our I begin and end? Some scientists claim that consciousness is just the result of the brain. Electrical impulses between neurons create a complex network that causes sensations, thoughts, and perception of reality. But this explanation seems superficial. After all, the brain may be an organ, but consciousness feels like something more. It's like a bridge between the physical world and something immeasurably high. Philosophers like René Descartes argued that consciousness is an entity separated from the body. His famous statement, "I think, therefore I exist," suggests that our mind is our main confirmation of reality. But if that's the case, where is the boundary between mind and soul? Is there a soul at all? In different cultures, consciousness has been associated with energy or spirit. The Buddhists spoke of a mental reality that exists beyond human perception. Shamans called consciousness the link between man and the universe. And now, with the development of science, new hypotheses have emerged that consciousness may be a quantum phenomenon operating on the scale of the microcosm, at the particle level. This theory is particularly interesting. Quantum mechanics assumes that reality exists in an indefinite state until it is observed by consciousness. We are not just participants in the universe, we are its observers, and perhaps even co-creators. But what does this mean for our understanding of reality? Is consciousness a tool or an independent force? There are hypotheses that go even further. Your consciousness is something private, but at the same time it can be part of a common field that unites all living beings. This idea is called the collective unconscious, proposed by psychologist Carl Jung. It suggests that at the deepest level we are connected to each other and to everything around us. But if this is true, then what remains after death? And more than that, what is on the border between consciousness and the unconscious? Where is this invisible line between what we understand and what we can't even feel? Consciousness remains one of the biggest mysteries of mankind. We are looking for answers, but with every step towards the truth, new questions arise. Maybe consciousness is the key to understanding everything else. Or vice versa, it is everything else. What do you think lies behind your mind? Chapter 2. Simulation or reality. Reality is just an illusion created by someone much more advanced. The idea that our lives are a simulation sounds like fiction, but it is being actively discussed by philosophers, scientists, and even big businessmen like Elon Musk. The simulation hypothesis states that everything we see, feel is nothing more than a programmed reality. But if our reality is in, most importantly, why? Some believe that we can be part of an experiment, a cosmic game where our role is being explored by higher beings. This idea is reminiscent of the philosophy of Plato, who wrote that our perception of the world is only a reflection of a higher reality, invisible to us. Imagine a cave where people spend their whole lives seeing only shadows on the wall and believing them to be real. What if we are those people? What if our world is walls and our reality is shadows? Claim that the simulation even has signatures. For example, at the quantum level, there are phenomena such as the observer effect, which suggests that reality changes if it is observed. Imagine that you are connected to a program that is updated depending on your interaction. Causes fear. If this is a simulation, can it be hacked? Or the worst question is, what happens to us if someone turns off this simulation? Do we exist then? No one knows the answer, but the fact that our world may not be real makes us think about every detail around us. Take a break and think. If you're already living in a simulation today, will you feel it? Chapter 3: The Journey Through Time and Its Paradoxes. Time is the most mysterious and incomprehensible aspect of our existence. It governs every moment of our lives, yet no one fully understands what time truly is. Moreover, some hypotheses suggest that time is merely an illusion, a product of perception created by our consciousness. Physicists, starting with Einstein, have proven that time is not absolute. The theory of relativity asserts that time can slow down, speed up, and even change, depending on gravity and velocity. But what if this flow of time could be reversed, observed from the future, or even stopped altogether? The idea of time travel has long captivated the imagination of philosophers, scientists, and writers. However, it has also given rise to numerous paradoxes. Imagine traveling back in time to alter a critical moment in your life, saving your grandmother or preventing a major event. What consequences would that lead to? Would your own existence be altered, or would you disappear? This is known as the time traveler's paradox. Research suggests that time travel, if possible, is incredibly risky. The theory of parallel realities may be the only solution to such paradoxes. If every action you take in the past creates a new reality, the original timeline remains untouched, but an infinite number of worlds come into existence. This is the concept of the multiverse. But if parallel realities exist, then perhaps our perception of time is already limited. What if right at this very moment, versions of your life exist where you made different choices, took different paths? Perhaps you are already traveling through time without even noticing it. Time is an immense field of exploration, and who knows what awaits us in the future. Perhaps one day we will learn to control it, to change the past and the future, or perhaps we will discover that time is simply an illusion. One thing is certain, it holds more questions than answers. What would you do if you were given the power to control time? Remember, every choice you make could change everything in this world, or create an entirely new one. Final chapter: the human soul and its connection to infinity. Since time immemorial, humanity has been asking the same question. What is the soul, that mystical, invisible element that perhaps defines who we are? Is the soul humanity's connection to the universe? Or is it merely a chemical process occurring in our brains, interpreted as our individuality? In religion and philosophy, the soul has almost always been perceived as immortal, eternal, and connected to something unimaginably vast, the cosmos, God, or a higher intelligence. But in recent decades, science has challenged these notions, exploring consciousness through technological advancements. Neuroscientists argue that our consciousness is the result of millions of neurons working together, synthesizing signals to create impressions, causing us to feel, think, and choose. But if this is true, what happens after death? Does the soul perish alongside the body, or does it detach and continue to exist in a new form? For now, the answers remain elusive. Equally important is the question, is the soul connected to time? If time travel is possible, does the soul travel with us? What if the soul is beyond the confines of time and exists outside the streams of matter and energy? There are hypotheses suggesting that the soul is a type of energy field that interacts with the space-time continuum. But is science truly necessary to understand the soul? Some believe that the soul's connection to the universe is evident through our sense of empathy, love, creativity, all the qualities that distinguish us from machines. Perhaps the soul is an inseparable part of the collective consciousness that binds all living things in the universe. Yet humanity continues to seek answers. Perhaps the key to this mystery lies beyond our comprehension, in the place where science, philosophy, and mysticism intersect. The truth about the soul could reveal not only the nature of humanity, but the essence of the universe itself. What if our soul is a bridge between the finite and the infinite, between the present and the eternal? Perhaps its very nature holds the answers to the great questions we ask ourselves. We will always search for answers, but perhaps it is important to understand that the strength of the soul lies in its constant striving toward light, toward something greater. And how do you perceive your soul? Between science and mystery, one reality remains: the belief that we are connected to infinity. Perhaps this is the true nature of the soul. Each of us is a fragment of a great mystery, and as we continue to seek answers, we move closer to it, step by step.